Yes. Let's do
In
this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck. Doo-doo-doo! As she falls off. There's nothing holding her in place.
She's a pretty one.
I know. She is. The solid colors are pretty. What's going on? Give me the
Dealing
updates.
with illnesses in the house.
Illness after illness?
Yeah. Just a lot of... I think it's asthma. I ended up taking the middle guy to the doctors.
Yeah?
And all they told me was just like, no, he doesn't have any fluid in his lungs. There's no fever. He just doesn't respond well to illness. That's what I was told.
So he's a Victorian era child.
So we just re-upped on the albuterol.
There you go.
And
vitamin C.
I felt bad because we had a birthday party to go to on Sunday, and he's fine. But he was coughing the entire time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're okay, but I can't in good conscience be out here. Because people are just like, you brought the sick kid.
Yeah.
Right? And that sucks.
Like, you know he's not contagious because the incubation period is past.
But he was also never sick. It was just the cold air, and it's like asthmatic. And she's like, the ped was like, well, you really don't need to go through us to go see like a pulmonologist or whatever. 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 And so she's like, you could get him officially diagnosed. I think he'll probably grow out of whatever this is. But she was just like, he just doesn't respond well to illness.
They're like, bitch,
I am so glad I had to pay for this.
Oh my God.
Like, that's my Guju self. That's all I'm thinking about. I was like, I'm going to have to fork over $25 for this shit.
You could have just Dr. Googled that.
I wish you could just call and be like, I need to re-up on the albuterol.
Yeah.
But no, I have to go in.
Yeah, because people abuse it. It's because people have abused it in the past. Like, people who know, Munchausen's and all that. But it's very... The things that inconvenience the people that follow the rules is because of all the people that try to cheat the system.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, guys. Like, can we all just, like, follow the rules?
Like, if we need a sick note, I have to go in and get it validated.
Yeah.
That my kid is sick. Like,
Yeah.
no, I see that he's sick.
Yeah.
I should be able to write the note.
No.
No, we have to get it
You're not a medical professional.
So stupid.
It is stupid. I have no idea what that sound is.
Is that
Oh,
not
I
the
think
washer?
this is what, it's the sump pump from all the rain.
Why does it sound like it's like...
Because that's what it's doing.
It's
sucking all the water out.
It's really loud. We gotta get you some like pipe insulation.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What's going on with you?
Nothing much. This last trip was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting better with like being by myself.
Okay.
I do for sure.
Are you enjoying it?
I am. I'm still enjoying it. I thought the first 2 shows were just like a fluke, because it was the first time. Like the first time you're by yourself, you like relish it, and then but if you're by yourself more and more, then it just like the novelty wears off.
Yeah.
And so I've been expecting the novelty to wear off because I've been going hard since the middle of September. And then after this weekend,
After a rather long break.
Yeah, such a long break.
So it's not easy to just dive back in.
And then after this Saturday, I'm home for 3 weeks, and then I go hard for, I think, 3 weeks in a row in December.
You're going international?
At the end of January.
Oh.
I still got to book all of that, which I know I have to do it. I've just been I know when I need to get it done by, so that drop dead date is not approached yet, so I'm like taking my time, and when I'm home for the 3 weeks, I want to like clean my vagina cave, like put away all that stuff.
I'm so glad you said cave. Like I
What else would I say?
For somebody that processes rather slow, I process that a little too fast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of you. That was really fast. Have you been eating almonds?
Yes, I have almonds every day. I take my vitamins. I'm the only one that didn't get sick. Like, I have felt like a little tickle in my throat.
Yeah.
I think it was Thursday, Friday, and then it went away because I am staying on top of my shit.
Yeah. I've been making that medicine ball tea that Starbucks has. I make it at home. Good. And I've been drinking that because I figure if I can't... I think my mindset is changing a little bit more towards, like, let's panic less because I'm not consuming as many calories. but let's make the calories that I'm consuming count, you know? So,
Sounds like smart math.
right. I mean, but when you're in panic, you just kind of like, just, you know, shove food in your mouth because you just want the energy. You're not thinking about the quality of the food.
That was me all summer, dude,
Yeah.
and it showed.
Yeah. And so I was like, I got rid of, so first thing, which I said I wanted to do to myself, I didn't say it out loud. So this is the first time I'm saying it out loud.
Okay.
When I wanted, like the first shows that I went to by myself in October, right? I saw all the snacks that I had. And now I had snacks not just for me, but for my travel companion as well.
Right.
Because I was like, well,
You
she
need
works,
food,
well, she
yeah.
works for me, and I wanted to make sure I had enough so that we didn't have to go out and buy stuff last minute or
Right.
like, you know, just wherever we are. And we did. It's not like we never bought snacks. Like we would go to the Walgreens, CVS.
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah, and get
stuff, yeah.
snacks because it's cheaper than getting it at the airport, right? But I've been like slowly getting rid of all of it and not replenishing it. And I'm like, yes. And I know myself with candy, like especially when I'm traveling, I'll just have like 3 or 4 pieces.
She's the mom that has a bag. Like, she always has candy in her bag.
But I have like a variety of
Like, it's
little
fun
things.
going to the movie theater with you.
Yeah.
You just pull out a bunch of
Just pull shit
gummy
out.
worms,
Yeah.
the works.
But like I'm good with just grazing on it. Like I don't sit in, you know, some people it's hard for, like I can't give roommate number 3. Like if you gift him a regular sized bag of Sour Patch
He'd
Kids,
be gone.
and I'm just like, are you kidding me, bro?
I think the biggest thing, and I have to talk to my husband about this because he also has a hard time just putting the bag down. So we take it out in the bowl.
Yeah.
This is your ration,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's it. And then if you don't see it,
Then it's okay.
hopefully you're too lazy to get the fuck up and get
Yeah.
more. Right?
Well, I've also been doing that. So like before we would take like, you know, the cups they have in the hotel rooms.
You don't sleep next to it.
No. I stopped after the first like 2 or 3 shows. I was like, this is not good because I was just like grabbing
At
because,
arm's reach.
yeah, because you know, it takes me forever to eat now, and so I was like, oh well, what if I want this and I don't want to pause and then move and
Yeah.
but I've been getting better and better. But
Good.
I've noticed I haven't been as scared to like, obviously only during the day. I adventure out during the day because, you know, nighttime, let's be safe.
Yeah, yeah.
But I need to be smarter with where I'm walking.
Where'd you end up?
So I'm in Philly, right? And
I love Philly. It's wild.
I think we went to Penn's Landing after the show, so I got to see that a little bit, right? And it was so populated. I loved it. Like I love seeing cities that are populated on the weekends in the evenings because you know, when we first started this, you know, when we went to San Jose, it was deserted. And it was right after
Is it
COVID.
still like that?
No.
Oh,
no,
I'm
it's
so
gotten
glad
better.
you had a different
Yes.
experience. I think it was just so fresh after things opened up after
Yeah.
COVID, but it was kind of sad to see so many of those.
It felt
businesses
really
boarded
like
up.
post-apocalyptic. And I was just
Yeah.
like, are we supposed to be here?
It took us forever to find a place to eat.
That was open,
There
yeah.
was nothing open.
Right. And I walked by the pizza place that we went to because
Okay.
it was like right in the
It was
vicinity.
good pizza.
Yeah, but they're not open anymore. They're not open anymore so my thing is,
Did they just maybe they just have like a lot of like turnover with restaurants, so they're bringing in like new,
maybe,
new
yeah, but
talent.
I went to the location because I remember the location, right, where it was. And so I went to the location and it was some like boba tea that was closed. And I was like, oh, because I was going to get pizza and take a picture
It was
and send it to you.
good.
It was
That
good
pizza.
pizza.
Was good.
It
Oh,
was good
bummer.
pizza. But like, which I'm glad that I can remember stuff like that, even if I just saw it one time.
Yo, okay. Nobody believes me, but when I was in Amsterdam,
Okay. How long ago was this that you were in Amsterdam? College, right?
college,
When you were studying abroad?
2008, 2009.
Okay.
I feel so stupid saying this. Okay, so I had a space cake, and then I went on a bar crawl. Okay,
Oh.
it was a very...
By yourself?
No, I had like my roommates.
Okay.
But we were also staying at hostels. So I was on top bunk. Anyway, so we were at the last bar at this place. Now, after you have a space cake, I was not drinking. I just went on the bar crawl for the experience. Just,
Yeah. No.
you know, walk around with a bunch of people, whatever.
Yeah.
Two of the girls that I was with ended up going back to the hostel, and me and this other girl, I think we started walking and then kind of got lost. I don't remember. And then I remember getting into a car and we got dropped off at the hostel.
Okay.
You can only do this in college. Okay, I would never, ever, ever do this in this day and age. I did some really dumb shit.
So did I, man.
It's fine. But the next morning, I was probably stoned for a good 10 to 11 hours.
So you were still in it.
Yeah, and so I woke up the next morning.
How much did you consume in that
space cake? I have no idea.
Oh.
We just had the space cake. That's what you do in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So
that's the only reason why I want to go to Amsterdam. Why lie about it at this point, you know?
Yeah, whatever. So the next morning we went to breakfast, and I can still I know what the map looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
But that morning when we went to breakfast, I got a black bean and baked goat cheese burger.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
How did you not diarrhea from that?
I enjoyed it.
It was spectacular sounding.
I even have a photo.
You did? Of
when
course
I
you
went
do.
abroad. I have a
course
picture of it. But when I try to retrace where that restaurant was from memory, I can't find it.
Not even on the map when you zoom in?
No, I did everything, okay? I can't find it. And I feel like I dreamt it, but I know I didn't because I have a picture of it.
Yeah. That's so sad. I hate when that happens.
Oh,
like, you know where it is. You can pin it on the map. You could zoom in.
It was right across the hostel. It wasn't a very long walk.
Yeah.
We just had to cross over the
street.
street.
I bet it's a different business now. That's why you can't find it.
No, this was shortly after the trip.
Oh, I thought you meant recently. You were trying
It was shortly after the trip, and I don't know the name. I never took a picture of the restaurant. I just took a picture of the food, and I remember just loving it. It was so good.
Do you think if you tried to find it now, you could?
No.
Because you don't know the name.
I've tried.
That's how I found it. That's how I found the restaurant that my husband took me to before he proposed. Like, I zoomed into the map because I knew exactly where it was.
You Google Earth those videos where you're like, oh.
No, yeah, I zoomed into the map because I knew where it was. And I remember passing it once or twice when we were downtown. I just never said anything because I was like, it was just a memory for me, apparently.
Yeah.
And so... and so... Is that what I said? And so...
I'm going to piggyback on that in a second. Finish your story.
So, but when I... Because, he was like, oh, what do you want to do for our anniversary? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm in town, so just decide something.
Make the call.
Make the call. Like, it's nice that you asked me, but however, I'm thinking about so many other things right now.
Make the call, yeah.
Right. And so then I was like, no, you know what? Fuck this shit. So then I was in my vagina cave and I'm just sitting on my phone waiting for something to process. So then I zoomed in and I made sure I looked at the pictures of the restaurant front to make sure. And then I just sent him the address and he's like, oh, this is a nice restaurant. I was like, and then go ahead.
No, I'm going to follow up with this one. You finish your story.
No, so then he's like, how did you find this restaurant? And I was like...
I'd be so mad.
Yeah, I was like, bro, you this is the restaurant we went to before you proposed. And he's like, oh, really? Like, that's why I wore the dress I did, because I knew I looked amazing in it.
Oh my God. Smack your ass. My God, that's so annoying. So I've been trying on clothes for this wedding that I'm going to.
Yeah? How's that going?
I'm taking clothes in.
Nice!
I'm so excited.
High five.
That hasn't happened in so long.
I know.
But I actually had to take stuff in. So I got curious. Now, my wedding outfit wasn't a very traditional red, white, not like the classic
bonnet. Yeah.
Yeah. It was this orchid purple color, and it just looked kind of heavy. So if you don't do the works with it, you could potentially wear it out, and it just looks like a heavy choli.
Right, just wear a light dupatta, or don't wear the dupatta at all.
Right, just the one. You don't have to have one on your head.
No.
Don't wear all the jewelry, and you can really tone it down, right? So I dug it out, and I want to try just to see. I don't think I'm really wedding weight, because I was really in shape when I got married.
Okay.
But I'm let's just see where we're at. How long is it going to take me to fit in? I envisioned myself once upon a time re-wearing my outfit for one of my brother-in-law's weddings. And this is the last one, at least on my husband's side. So I was let me just see where I'm at. Maybe just the bottom will fit. I was curious. Mm-hmm. So I put it on. It does not fit.
Oh.
But there's potential. I do think by next year, if I stick to it, that I will be able to like zip it up all the way,
I
and
think
it'll
you'll stick
actually
with
look
it, yeah.
really like flattering. So I put it on, and my husband walks into the room, and he's like, "Oh, that's really pretty. When did you get that?"
Oh my god! Are you fucking for real?
Yeah, for real. And I was like, "Try that again."
You're like, ¿Cómo se dice?
Right. I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" And he's like, "Oh, is that the wedding outfit?" Like, it was just so bizarre. And then you see like all these like TikToks of people like putting on their wedding outfit like
Yeah.
a year later or whatever. Now it's been 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I get that. But like, how do you...
Well, also, the pictures that you have in your house, they're all black and white.
No, but
From
like
your wedding,
my
right?
color was so obvious.
That's true. That's true. Like, it wasn't like a regular red and green and white bonnet there. So he should have...
No.
Yeah, he should have remembered. This is a message to him.
I just think you should have remembered,
You should have
Doug.
remembered,
Like, that's just kind of
husband.
pathetic. I was mad.
You should be mad.
He don't watch our podcast. He not
No,
gonna know.
neither does mine.
I'll tag him in it. Yeah. At kneel down.
So here's the thing. They have a horrible memory, you know? And I think it's because that they haven't been forced to have to remember a lot of things. Because yours is what? A younger son?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like his immediate family.
Niels is the baby in the family.
Right, and mine is the baby of the family. And so the babies of the family, usually they don't have much responsibility. They don't have to like worry about the things that the oldest children have to worry about, right? And for us, it's different because the babies married the older ones.
We're twins.
Yeah,
in that.
we are.
We just
You guys
have to
are just a few
buck up and do everything.
And I fucking hate it. And I hate it so much because...
But now let's flip this around. What attracted us to the baby of the family? Was it that I think it, like, at least for me, it was the fact that Neil is so easygoing. He's unfazed by shit.
This one too.
And for some reason, let's just think back. I think to some degree we wanted to feel that, and thought that would
rub off on
us. And what ended up happening is we just had to take care of them along the way.
Yeah, it's like we'll just add one more person to the list of people that you have to take care of. Right, and I'm just like, and you know, I was talking on one of my trips in Phoenix. I have a friend in Phoenix, Natalie, and I was talking to her about like just how I'm feeling and how angry I've been for the past like since May. Okay. May, June, just how angry I've been, which is...
You spend a lot of time at home, so it festers.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, this sounds like the same thing I went through, and I was like, let me guess, it's menopause, right? And she's like, it is, it's the beginning of it, because your body...
We don't want to blame it on hormones.
No, I don't want to blame it on hormones, I don't want to blame it on... I don't want to blame it on perimenopause. I don't want to blame it on depression. I don't want to blame it on the fact that I'm hungry and I haven't eaten any like solid, like, you know, a good meal at home in a long time.
You want to hold your partner accountable.
Right. And so I'm trying to figure out, and this is just for anybody who's coming behind me, you, anybody else. I'm just at this point trying to figure out what is really like a relationship issue and what is really just a me issue and what I'm going through.
Like
biologically, hormonally, chemically, puberty-wise, whatever you want to call it. And I'm having a really difficult time differentiating between the two. Like,
I have an answer.
Okay.
So the things that are happening, without going into too much detail, the lack of paying attention.
Right.
The fact that you have to remind, you have to be the manager.
Well,
it's the lack of initiative at home to handle things. That you have to coach through that. That you're not potentially even being taken care of. When's anybody made dinner for you?
Well,
right?
That's the thing.
A lot of it falls on you.
Yeah.
That is the relationship concerns. Those are things that need to be talked about.
Right.
The way that you're reacting.
Okay.
The way that you're handling the situations that are happening, the way that it's festering and bringing out your anxiety, that is a little bit of you and a little bit of the hormonal aspect.
Okay.
Because the hormones, while men use it as a cop-out, they do play a huge role in how we are managing our
Right.
emotions.
Yeah.
That you can talk through it and go through therapy and this and that, and you can recognize those triggers and learn to manage it better, but that doesn't change the fact that it is going to spike a lot of those emotions.
Yeah.
So I think it's the reaction versus the reactor,
yeah.
right? Like your triggers are all marriage, relationship, family, like that's.
I've been doing more. So what I decided to do when this third tour started was I was like, well, we don't have an issue of he has to work and I'm out of town, right? He's home now. And so I have completely flipped the script. I have not gone to get groceries in 4 weeks because I refuse. I refuse when I'm only home for a couple of days between trips
run errands.
to run errands. I've been focusing on what I need to focus on to bring income into this house, which is making content.
You're the breadwinner.
Right, which is, editing our podcast, getting all of that work done as much as I can when I have concern. Like, I am at my computer anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day now. Either because I'm working on podcast stuff or on emails or I'm like booking my travel or I'm making content, and I'm always making content in the middle of that. Like whenever I'm waiting for things to process, I'm making content constantly, right? And I'm banking it so that if I have an emergency where I can't make content because I'm either too tired in the hotel room or something, right? And yes, well, why don't you just do all of that stuff in the hotel room? I'm like, well, I'm choosing to be fully rested for the show that I'm about to give you when I'm in the hotel room. Like I will work if I have to, but I prefer not to because.
But again, like, why wouldn't you just like spread out your work, right?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do 20 hours of work in one weekend,
Right.
when you can do a few hours a day?
Exactly, and I have completely flipped the script in the fact that I am no longer the default parent at home, and I'm having like.
When did you do this? 4 weeks ago?
So it's been a slow build. And this past week and a half, like I realized that I am not the default parent for roommate number 3. And I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Like I thought I would be a little sad about that because I've always been the default parent for both of them. But I have like I've seen them, and I'm not talking about just my son. I'm talking about my son, my in-laws, like my mother-in-law.
They're relying on.
They're telling their son and dad that stuff instead of constantly telling me. Like there's obviously some moments where my mother-in-law will approach me instead of going to her son, as if her son can't go to Walgreens and pick up medication or call and do a refill, like things that I'm not doing anything special, right? And I thought that I would be upset with the fact that I'm no longer the default parent, but I'm okay. Like I realized it this last week, and then running into this week, I was like, last week I didn't like it too much because I was like, oh, but then this week I was like, no, it's more than okay.
No, take the season for what it is, because you just never know.
You never know.
And you have to be ready to jump back in if need be. You're well prepared. But right now, if you're getting that break,
Yeah.
that moment to breathe, soak in the season.
Yeah. I'm just at like a weird part of life right now, and I don't know how like I'm supposed to react to it. Like I feel still very numb. Like I know I said that a few weeks ago to you, not in like a podcast or just like in general, just us talking. And I still definitely feel very numb.
Okay.
Like when I leave and come back, it's still very much like I don't want to be here, but I know I have to be here, but I don't want to have to be here.
Okay.
And so I'm working through that, and I'm trying, and not to the point where I'm like going too hard, right? Like I'm not immersing myself in everything that is related to my younger son, and let's do all the PTA and this, and like I'm not doing that.
No, because then you can start to burn yourself out, and
Right.
you're gonna have resentment towards it.
But like I feel like I'm still in a burnout phase, and I'm like, how long does this burnout phase last? Like when I'm gone,
I don't think there's an answer to that question. You just have to.
it's insane.
Something might come along that brings you a lot of joy and excitement.
Yeah.
And you might start to feel differently. But right now, you've kind of gotten used to a lot of that monotony.
Yeah.
And so you could just be feeling it. Because it is so monotonous, you come home, you do this, you fly, you know what you're doing. There's like a whole routine, there's a whole process. It's monotonous.
Yeah.
Right? And that, I kind of lost my train of thought, but like, because you're just so used to everything that's happening, you've plateaued with your emotions, you know? And when something else comes along that can challenge you, you might have more reason to kind of dive into it.
Yeah. Like, I've noticed that with more than just, like, the traveling, right? Yes, that part is monotonous, but I know as soon as I, like, open the hotel room door and I go in, I feel, like, a sense of, like, relief. Yeah, I'm like... And like, sometimes I just sit there in the chair and I just, like, for 30 seconds, do nothing. I just sit there and I enjoy the peace and quiet. And my house is by no means loud. You know, my house is not loud.
Yeah.
Like, obviously when we have a party, it's loud, but like,
Her
and
sump
every
pump
day.
is louder than anybody
Yeah,
in the house.
I fucking don't understand why. Like, I hope it's not translating, whatever. But like, my house is, you know, there's not a lot of noise and not a lot of activity. There's not a lot of things going on in my house. So I'm trying to understand why I have this, like, sense of relief when I hit a hotel room. Like, outside of the fact that, like, I was doing all of these things, like, I did have all of these responsibilities, but like I said, as soon as October hit and I knew that I had to start traveling by myself, I was like, no, I'm going to make sure when I'm home, I'm resting, because even though I'm resting in my hotel room, I'm still on high alert.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I have the deadbolt and I have the other bolt and I have my heavy suitcase in front of the door, but you don't know when someone's going to try to come in. You have no idea, right? And so as a female traveling by herself, I'm constantly on alert, but I feel like it's a different level of alert versus at home. Like, I feel like there's still this tension of we don't know, like, we just don't know what's, like, how to behave around each other. We don't know what we're supposed to, like, what we're supposed to say to each other. We don't, like, I feel very, like, instead of these 3 months that I was home bringing us closer together, I feel like it's just, and I don't know how I feel about that. You know? It's weird, but I shouldn't feel relieved when I go to the hotel room. Or maybe there's that word that I don't like. That the word should, right?
Right. Like, why?
Why do I feel that way? I have no idea. Because think about it, when you go on a girls' trip,
There's a couple ways to see it, right? Like, I'm trying to think how... I'm trying to, like, formulate my thoughts a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with feeling relief when you're at a hotel. It's clean. Visually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's clean.
Yeah.
You've got the bed to yourself.
You got the space to yourself.
You can watch TV on your own. You know? You can walk downstairs and go grab something to eat. You don't have anybody else to think about but yourself.
Absolutely.
That doesn't happen. So it's natural to feel that sense of relief.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think our society just tells us that we should be not okay with that. As women, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, must be nice.
Yeah.
You get to go sleep in my mom says shit like that to
Oh
me
my
all the time.
God.
She's like, oh, you're staying at the hotel. Like, if I have, like, an early bride, I stay at the hotel. And she's like, oh, must be nice. And I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, why?
You're allowed that.
Good.
You're allowed that. And if you don't think about everything else that is making you feel like, wow, I'm enjoying the hotel over sleeping in my own bed at home. Whatever conclusions you're coming to, just look at it very objectively and say, of course I feel good. I got a clean space. I got a nice big hotel, no fingerprints on it.
Yeah. Change the mentality.
I can watch
around
whatever
it.
I want. Of course you're going to feel good. It's all about you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you feel good? Fuck yeah.
I think I mean, you same thing, right? Like when you choose to go the night before because you have an early morning call instead of driving in.
I'm still panicked, right?
Yeah.
I'm still setting my alarms to make sure that I'm there on time. I'm starting
Yeah.
at like 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
I can't oversleep,
No. 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 No.
right? But when I'm home, it's a different kind of tension. It's like, shit, am I going to be able to sleep? Who's going to wake up in the middle of the night and come get to me, right?
Yeah.
There's a different kind of tension. I still have to cook. I still have to do this.
Yeah.
Your room's not clean,
Right.
right? Like, I
Right.
have to listen to somebody snoring. Fuck that shit.
No.
Right? It's a different kind of tension.
And we deserve it.
Right. So it's not like you're not stressed.
Yeah.
It's just different. And I don't think the two are necessarily congruent.
See, there's a lot of people. I mean, I haven't really talked. You're the first person I've talked to about this feeling of like,
Like, why do you feel good at a hotel?
yeah, like I feel like I'm not just me being the person that I am, like being a wife, being a mother, being a daughter-in-law, being somebody who is pretty active in the community, you know, with PTA and stuff like that. Like I feel like because I enjoy being away, that
You're selfish.
that I'm being selfish and that I don't I therefore if I enjoy being away, therefore I must not love my family.
No.
Like I know I joke about it on stage all the time. I'm like, I call these my mommy vacations because I want other people to feel okay with the fact that if they go on a girls trip or if they go whatever you call it, girls trip, mom's trip, ladies trip, or you go travel by yourself, which I'm going to say it as much as I can. Ever since I started traveling by myself, I feel like women should travel by themselves, even if it's just once a year to their most favorite spot, and if it's a 4-day weekend. Like, it doesn't need to be something long and extravagant.
Yeah.
Just, I feel like we as women need to start doing things for ourselves, which, you know, that's been my message since day one.
You should date yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that you're forgetting the other element. Your mind is able to focus on a lot of things on your own. Not to say that your assistant never gave you the space.
Yeah.
It is very different. Now you're by yourself. You can actually sit with your thoughts and you're coming to a lot of these conclusions because you have that moment to just think through it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, even once again, even though she was taking care of you, you also were taking care of her. And
That's
I say
true.
that because I know what you're like
witnessed
when
it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even though I'm there to help you,
I
you're
go into
always
mom
looking
mode.
out for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, it happens all the time. I'm so used to it. Like with you and my other friend Ratna, okay? Like when I'm hanging out with you guys, I'm kind of just like, oh yeah, you guys look at both ways before you cross the street, because I sure the fuck ain't.
Because we know you're not. That's why
Right.
we are.
Right. She's also, Pinky always gets me the napkins and utensils when we go out to eat. I just go and sit down like a fucking toddler.
Never gets utensils. I'm like, how are you gonna eat this fucking shit?
Yeah, she doesn't. And I'm so used to it. I'm spoiled.
But you need that. Like, I feel like we all need, right? And like I said, like I relish, and I said that the other day we were watching TV, and I said that to my husband. I was like, it's not that I didn't love having somebody traveling with me, my, you know, assistant doing all of the little things that I shouldn't have to worry about, because, you know, ask anybody who's in the performing world, everybody's like, and even other people, they're like, why are you worried about setting merch up? We can do that for you. Why are you worried about this? We can do that for you. And I'm just like, you can? It's
You're
true.
conditioned to not inconvenience anybody around you.
Right. And so, you know, I was telling him, I was like, I love the fact that I know for a fact that when I get back to my hotel room, I can bank on there being complete silence. And I don't know if that's like I'm a late in life autistic person or whatever it's called. But like I have gotten so like I don't like when there's too much noise. I don't like when there's too much different noise. I'm evolving.
Oh.
I'm you know what the social media says?
From getting married to having kids to having your in-laws move in with you, you've acclimated to a lot of the noise, but it wasn't always what you needed.
Yeah.
You were always in service of others.
Yeah.
So you're capable of adjusting because that's what you've been raised to be.
All of us.
Right.
We all have.
So you made it work. Mm-hmm. You probably had your moments where you lost your shit, right? Like we all did. I fucking just did 3 hours ago, okay? I'll tell you about it later. But like you're capable of getting it done,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't have to.
Right.
And you're finally allowed the opportunity to not have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's just something that you needed a sprinkling of along the way, and you just didn't get it. So now, when you're getting it in a lump sum, you're just really enjoying it.
I am.
And that's okay.
And I
Like-
love the fact that I'm not the default person
Right.
anymore.
And like that's what, like I said before too, like enjoy it while you have it right now. Hopefully it lasts for a really long time, but you also never know when you're going to have to shift gears, and you're capable of shifting
Yeah.
when you need to. It might be a little hard, you'll be a little rusty here and there, but you're capable of doing it when you need to. So just soak in it
Enjoy-
right now. Yeah, really
enjoy
just
it.
savor it. And it's okay to enjoy it.
Yeah. I have to make sure I keep
You
telling
worked hard
myself.
for this.
I know. But it like, and I'm not saying that you saying it has less value than somebody else saying it, but I just wish that like,
You want them to see it.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
you know, like,
You wish they felt the same way.
right.
And they validated it for you.
But I know, and
Just like anything else, though, your followers and your friends, not even friends sometimes. Sometimes the followers are going to have your back more than your immediate family.
which is so shitty.
I know.
And friends.
You want them to see it, but for whatever reason, they won't. Or they'll think it and they just won't have the guts to say it to you. They're not
I
going
don't-
to pat you on the back.
Right. And
you
but
know?
it's like for the type of person I am, which I feel like you have a good handle on the type of person I am. Like in all aspects, right? You've seen me in all aspects. You haven't just seen me as a friend, you've also seen me as like a coworker, you've seen me as somebody who you can collaborate with, like all of these different things, right? Like I feel like the fact that I look for other people for that validation, like why do I still do that? When I have it, and I know it's because the people that live with me, in my mind, subconsciously, for me, they're more important than all the millions of followers
But
that
that's
I have.
conditional. That's something else that was taught to us from a very young age. That your family is everything. That these people
Yeah.
are supposed to do this. Supposed to. Right? Another word. It's not that they're not supportive. But there's always going to be pockets of space that they can't fill. And that's where a lot of times I always go back to that. And this is kind of dumb. But we had that one meeting at work about that board of directors in your life. Do you
Yeah.
remember that meeting?
Yeah.
That conversation really resonated with me. Because you're not going to have just one person fulfill everything for you.
You can't.
Right?
You can't.
So there's nothing wrong with you making the types of friends
Yeah.
in your life that are gonna fulfill those voids. That's fine.
Yeah. You can't, because if you think about it, you don't tell one
You have-
person everything.
No, and you have different types of friends. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're gonna that you necessarily prefer one friend over the other. No, this one friend understands this particular piece of me,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
you kind of compartmentalize, and you have your board of directors for your life, the people that you go to, and there's nothing wrong with that. No one person is ever going to fulfill that.
Yeah.
We romanticize that it will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, those fucking literature
Fucking-
books.
Right. Like, fine, ideally we want, like, our person.
Yeah.
And maybe some people are blessed to have that.
But it sucks
But there's
that,
also
that-
nothing wrong with us having multiple people, because, like, not a lot of people can say that.
Right.
Some people are just so confounded in, like, their marriage. Like, that's their person.
Yeah.
They don't always have friends, right? You have
And
a
that's
ton of
not
friends.
good either.
Right.
Like you have to have a healthy balance between
Right.
the two. And unfortunately, I have the opposite, which it is what it is, and I feel like
We're going to count our blessings. You have a lot to count.
yeah, I think I just need to do that. You know what I need to do? I think we can end it on here. I think what I need to do is, and I will do it this weekend when I'm gone. I need to create some sort of vision board, like a literal vision board.
Let's do a crafting party.
Okay. Because I made a vision board for my vagina cave and what I wanted it to look like.
Again, I'm happy you said cave.
And it executed perfectly. Like I was able to buy the exact lamps that I wanted, the exact furniture, everything.
Yeah.
And so listen, I've always thought vision boards were stupid because it's like you can't just manifest something and it happens.
No, visualization is very, very important.
I think I need to like start, and even if it's just a digital,
it doesn't have to be something big, but something that reminds you of what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
How you see your life in the next coming years. Like those reminders are going to subconsciously help you make decisions that are going to get you to that, right? Like it's going to help you keep your goals at the forefront. And if it's not helping you get to that version of you, don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's time to make a vision board.
We're going to craft
2.0. I'm going to start digitally, and then maybe it will manifest.
No, I want like scissors and glue sticks and shit.
No, it will, but I need the pictures to print them and then to put them on an actual board. I need both visual.
It'll be like our own little burn book.
Yeah, like I need a digital and a real, because the real one to go in my vagina cave when I'm working and I can see it, like on my little whiteboard thing I have, and then a digital one so when I'm traveling.
I kind of just like took over. She wanted to do this, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it together.
No, we can. We just need to figure out when together.
No, I know. No, I do think that you should. Anything, and just like start collecting stuff. Like if you see things that like really speak to you, collect it. Make like a little scrapbook.
I think I will.
Board.
I need to do something, even if
that might also help you feel more excited about the monotony of things. Because you have new goals or something to kind of clear up those goals.
Like, I mean, there's, which is so silly because I have one large goal, like a huge goal that's coming up in April. And I need to like get on it and like practice it and focus and write. And like, I have a finish line that in mind. And
but that's also not going to happen. Oh, today I'm going to write.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen like
that's
that.
That's not how that works
Just
for me.
pay attention to things that are going around you. Go for your walks.
Yeah.
I've been keeping let your mind kind of flow, and then it'll come.
It's just so
You might just get it all in bulk one day.
I probably will. I'm that type where it just happens all at one time. Mm-hmm. Like my packing, they everybody up, like the family, they joke around because when I come home the next day I have to like open up my bag, right? Because I need to get my sneakers and workout gear. Mm-hmm. And so you saw, it looks like the baggage claim exploded at an airport. Yeah. But then an hour before I leave, that's when I go, because if I try to like pack along the way, like this week I had literally 4.5 days that I could pack. But if I do it a little bit at a time, I will forget something.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that has to do it before I leave, the day before. Like I'll do laundry and everything beforehand, so I have all the options available to me.
I'm very much similar. I make piles of everything and I collect it all, but I won't actually like pack it away until the night.
And I don't close that bag until it's time to leave the door. See? This is why we call out everything that's PakeAsPuck. On that note, all right, leave your questions, comments, all that BS down below. We will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.